So let's get started to recognize all of the people that have arrived on time. Thank you so much all for joining. You all heard it right there at convention. There was some announcements made. We were so excited when Steve Fife announced at the leaders meeting, and he announced the dates, and we were all, hearts were beating. And then we were like, this is going forward no matter what, because our CEO has said it live on stage. So welcome everybody to the call. For those of you I've yet to have the privilege to meet, I'm Pamela Ferry, your Vice President of the Pacific and South Asia region, and responsible for launching with actually a dream team who always make me look good every day, launching the Philippines market. So please welcome Kanako Bay-Miller from Home Office. She is the backbone of our team and drives a lot of analysis and works with our international team. And then, of course, welcome our incredible Filipino team. We are growing on the ground already, led by Mersha Riego, who has done an exceptional job in a very, very short time, bringing all of the crazy pieces together that occurs with building an international market. And it's been a big project, and we're finally getting to the sticky point. We're about to pre-launch. How many days are we off? So it's the 2nd of November Mountain Standard Time. And so if you put that into Filipino time, of course, it'll be the 3rd of November, Australia as well. So just remember, when we're talking about dates, we're talking in Mountain Standard Time, just to keep it seamless across the world. So, wow, 126 on the call and growing. So Mersha, I think we're going to come back to you, but first of all, we're going to start the call with one of our newest members of the team. I've had the privilege to know TinTin in a previous life, if you want to call it that. And when I used to travel up to the Philippines with a previous company, I got to know TinTin, and I loved the way that I saw TinTin work with the field, her care and support for distributors. Also, the way that she just looks after everybody and just is across everything: customer service, compliance, field development, operations, the whole thing. So I'm looking forward to all of you getting to know TinTin a little better, especially as you're bringing teams on the ground in the Philippines. And when many of you are coming across to the Philippines, you'll have the pleasure of meeting TinTin in person. So over to you, TinTin Cobreros, welcome.
Thank you so much, Pam. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone, wherever part of the globe you are. So we have so many international leaders here, and of course, we are so nervous, and I know we are all excited for the pre-launch of our Philippine market, and we would like to thank you all for joining us today. So let me just please share my screen. So I know everybody's been waiting for this, and I know you've been building your team already here in the Philippines and been working so hard. And of course, we would like to discuss already the pre-enrollment process. So as mentioned by Pam, we will be accepting application already for pre-enrollment starting November 3. But before I discuss with the process, let me please discuss what are those important information or details that we will be needing from you in order for us to have a smooth and faster pre-enrollment process. Okay, of course, you all know this. You've been with LifeVantage for a long time, and you know how ethical our company is, and you know that we are very strict with all these informations. And number one important details that you have to include in the distributor application form, of course, is their tax identification number. Especially here in the Philippines, our tax bureau is very, very strict when it comes to filing their taxes. Okay, so you know that what is due to the government is due to the government. So it's really important the tax identification number is completely correct and valid. And since we are still in the pre-enrollment process in case you have already prospects or distributors that they don't have the TIN yet. They still have the time to apply or register with the BIR, or the Bureau of Internal Revenue here in the Philippines. So they can just go to the BIR website and register for their TIN in case they don't have the TIN yet. So they still have the time, since our accepting the enrollment is still on November 3. So they still have the time to register themselves with the Bureau of Internal Revenue in order for them to get their tax identification number, because it's very important that we get their tax identification correctly. And second, of course, is the contact details. So it's really important that they will provide the valid contact details, because it's really crucial that we would be able to contact them during the time that we are validating the enrollment. So it's either they can provide both their mobile phone number and their home number. It's applicable. If they have their home number, we can also call them through that. And of course, the home address should be accurate. And in case if the shipping address would be different from the home address, they should also include that in the application form, because this is very important where we would send the products. Okay, so it's really important that the home address and the shipping address are accurate. And another important details is the enroller information and the placement information. And I'm sure you all know this. And last but not the least is the government issued ID. So it should be government issued ID. And we have several government issued IDs here in the Philippines. So they can provide a social security system ID, their GSIS. If they are employed with the government, they can also submit a copy of their passport. But please ensure that if they're going to submit their passport, it should be valid and not expired. And also there are other kinds of IDs like the driver's license. So those IDs will be acceptable as long as they are government issued and valid. And important note to our leaders, please do not include the credit card details in the form or in the email when you're going to send us the application form, because for security purposes, we would not want you to put in jeopardy your credit card details. So please do not include any credit card details in the form or in the email. We will be calling them to check or to ask for their credit card details during our verification of the enrollment. Okay, if you have further questions or clarifications with regards to the requirements of our pre-enrollment, please feel free to type it in the chat box, and our market support representative, Kate, and of course, Ms. Mersha, they are there to answer any inquiries that you may have. Now we would discuss the pre-enrollment list. So as leaders, we encourage you to submit us a list. It's like a summary of those that you will be enrolling. But in that list, we are very strict that you can only put at least 5 distributors or downlines in that list, so that we can give enough or provide enough time for the validation. So we will provide you a list or the summary, and in that list, you will also include the distributor application form. It should be attached also in the email together with the government issued ID. Okay, so we want to remind everyone to please ensure that all the application forms that will be submitted to us are completely filled out and signed by the distributor. And if there's a co-applicant, it should also be signed by the co-applicant. And again, you will submit the list and the application forms via email at phsupport@lifevantage.com. Again, it's phsupport@lifevantage.com. And upon receiving those lists and those application forms, we will be starting with the verification of those applications. And of course, if in case we have any questions or clarifications, or if we need additional information, we will call you, the enroller or the sender of the email. And if everything is okay, then we will be able to enroll them and confirm the enrollment. So of course, when the enrollment is confirmed, we will be providing them the ID number and they should be able to receive a welcome email from LifeVantage. Okay, so once the system is live on November 16, the distributor can place their order to their electronic virtual office. Okay, so this is the sample of the pre-enrollment list or the form that we will be sending to you, our dear leader. So as mentioned, it's strictly for 5 applications per form only. So Kate and I will have enough room to process all the enrollments. Okay, so we will be providing this list. And of course, this is the sample of the distributor application and agreement form. And as I've mentioned a while ago, these should be completely filled out and duly signed by both the distributor or the co-applicant if applicable, because we won't be able to process any enrollment if there are no signatures. So please do not forget to ask them to sign the distributor application and agreement form. We won't be able to send or provide you a copy of the form yet, but don't worry, we will be providing you this form very, very soon. Okay, so this is just to explain further our process. So the customer service team right now, you have me and Kate, so we will accept all the list that you will send to us and the distributor application form via email. And of course, don't forget to attach government IDs of them. Okay, and then we will start validating as soon as we receive those applications. And the customer service, we will call each of them to verify their age to ensure that they are 18 years old and above. Okay, please ensure we will not accept any applications that is below 18 years old. And of course, we will check with them if they are consenting to be enrolled as LifeVantage distributor. And of course, we will verify their address, their shipping address, their email address. It's really important that the email address is also valid because that is one of the major communication vehicle that we are using here in LifeVantage. They would be able to receive the welcome email from LifeVantage. So it's really important that the email address is correct. And this is crucial. The crucial thing here is their contact details, their mobile phone number, because we won't be able to verify or validate their enrollment if their mobile phone number is invalid. So we will get back to you, to the enroller, to the leader, if we won't be able to communicate with the distributor. And so that's number 3. So if we have further clarification, any additional information that we need from that application, we will definitely communicate with the leader or the enroller or the sender of the email. And if everything is okay, then we will proceed with the enrollment. And during the enrollment, we will only be processing the starter kit, which is amounting to 1,200 pesos. We won't be processing any enrollment packs or any products. As soon as the system is live on our launch date on November 16, they would be able to access their electronic virtual office, and that's the time that they can put their own enrollment packs order or any products they want to purchase. Okay, and later on we will be providing a training for them for how to access their electronic virtual office. And of course, when they are enrolled, definitely they would be getting their ID number. So they will be getting a welcome email from LifeVantage, and we will also send them a separate email that we have enrolled them. We will provide them the ID number, and since we will be the one to register their electronic virtual office, we will provide them the temporary password. So we will send it to them via email, and of course, they will have to access their virtual office and change that temporary password. So they can already work on it and study their virtual office. Okay, that is so cool, right? They have the capability to work on their business already. So again, once we enroll them, they will be getting their ID number and their temporary password for the virtual office, and we will send it to them via email. So this is the pre-enrollment timeline. As mentioned a while ago, we will be accepting all the applications and the list starting November 3. And as soon as we receive those applications, we will already start validating them. And again, we will contact you if we need any clarifications or additional information, and then enroll them to the system, and then we will provide the enrollment confirmation. And the pre-enrollment period will start from November 3 until the launch. So you can send it to us starting November 3. And again, once the system is live on November 16, the distributor will be able to access their electronic virtual office and place their enrollment packs, because we will only be processing their starter kit. So during our verification, we will already ask them which credit card or what credit card details that they will use in order for us to process the starter kit amounting to 1,200 only. Okay, so this is your customer service team. I am TinTin, and together with me is Kate. And don't worry, we will grow this market, and we will also grow our team. And this is again our email address, phsupport@lifevantage.com. We have already our hotline, although it's not yet active, but this is already the number of our hotline. And as soon as this is active, we will all let you know. We are also going to have our own mobile phone numbers so that our distributors can easily communicate with us. And that mobile phone numbers we will also be using to contact them. So they would be able to check whether it's the LifeVantage team that is calling them. But right now, we don't have the number yet. So as soon as we have them available, we will definitely let you know. Okay, so you know that our office is already ready. We have sent a lot of photos of the office. It's already ready, but we're still following the safety protocols, and of course we are following the guidelines of our IATF because of COVID. So if you would like to schedule a visit in the showroom, please send us an email so we can arrange for it. Okay, so again, if you have further questions or clarifications with regards to the requirements of our pre-enrollment, please do not hesitate to send us an email at phsupport@lifevantage.com. So that's it for me. May I turn over to Mersha? Thank you so much.
Mersha, I think it's over to you. Just before we jump in, team, sorry about that red doodly mark. We did our best to get it off. And our mantra for our team, though, is progress over perfection, right? So thank you so much, TinTin.